Hello everybody, this is Tyler. I am a handyman for the average man. And as you can tell, if you look behind me, you see my nice shutter, my one shutter. The other one has fallen off. And so today's video is going to be about what you got to do a shutter repair if they have fallen. I'm going to turn the screen around to show you. Alright, so that's where the shutter used to be. There it is now. So as you can tell, you have five little plastic shutter screws. 3, 4, 5. So what's happened is that the plastic screw has actually broken off. And so what we're going to do is we are going to get a masonry bit, they call it, and drill out the plastic. If I hit concrete, it's not going to hurt my bit because it is a masonry bit. Alright, so here's the difference between a masonry bit and a regular metal bit. The regular metal bit is on the left, the masonry bit is on the right. You can tell that there's this little piece up at the top here on this one that's actually wider than the bit itself. So having that bit a little bit wider actually allows the concrete to be chipped away before the rest of the bit goes in so they can fit into it. So that's the difference if you're wanting to recognize that. So today we're going to be using the masonry bit. And I have some of these screws here. And these look like they're 2-inch screws, and we already have them painted black with a little washer, rounded washer, so that I can put those in place of these plastic ones. So now we're gonna go ahead and get out the old plastic screws. So these are what came with the shutters, and this is what actually is broken off inside the hole in the brick. So these are trashed. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure that the old plastic green screws that are acting like plugs, we're going to make sure those are knocked out of there. We need to get that plug out so we can put a new anchor and put in our new screws. Alright, got my impact drill with my masonry bit. Alright, let's give it a try. You see that? The plastic is burning, it's smoking. So I actually have it in reverse right now. By having it in reverse, it's actually kicking this stuff back out of the hole instead of driving it in. All the plastic on that one is out. As you can see, it's pretty clear and open. This one has a little bit more residue. I'm just trying to get that out along the edges. Alright, so that looks good. Let's get that one a little bit more. Alright, so the next step is making sure that these five wall anchors are going to be able to fit. So I drilled out enough to where we can get these anchors in there, these wall anchors. Okay. So now what we need to do is we're going to go ahead and get some of this liquid nails. Let me show you here. I have the brand Liquid Nails. This is multi-purpose caulk, and it does specify on there that it can be used for concrete, all kinds of stuff, but it does say concrete and masonry. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in those holes that I've drilled out with this caulking, and then we're going to put in the wall anchors and let it dry. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put in our wall anchors. That's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. And this is five. It's okay to have a little bit of excess, you can just wipe it away. I'm going to hammer those in anyways, make sure they're nice and tight. Nice and flush. Okay, so that's the important thing you want, is that it is flush with the grout, the concrete grout here. And this one you can tell has a lot of excess. It's not a problem, just gotta wipe it away. And once it dries, it'll help hold that anchor in place. And this one, you can tell has a lot of excess. The screw is gonna go through the caulking, but it doesn't hurt to just go ahead and just kind of get an opening out for it. Alright, we're gonna let that dry. The bottle says that it says allow up to 24 hours to dry. So we're gonna let that dry and let the caulking hold that anchor in place, and then tomorrow when I come back, I'm gonna go ahead and drive the 2-inch screws that I have and get the shutter in place, and we'll finish this up. Alright, so I actually went ahead and added a little bit more caulking just to make sure that it was around all the gaps. Let me show you here. So it's not the prettiest, but it's just caulking. It can always be cleaned up afterwards, and besides, it's going to be all behind the shutter, so it really doesn't matter as far as getting a little bit on the brick. Hey guys, it's Tyler again. It's been actually over 24 hours since I let the caulking dry, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I've jimmy rigged just enough height that I need to make it easy for these screws to line up. But let me show you. So I have the 5 wall anchors in place with the putty. You can tell that they're very much solid, so I feel very good about that. They're flush with the brick as well. So I already got my screws on. Got all 5. This is the only one that doesn't have a washer, but that's okay. So here we go. Just a little bit too high. I'm going to do that. So I have a good height, not too high like it was. So what I found is that the screw is barely too short, so I need a longer one. This one's about 2 inches. I definitely need at least 2.5, if not even 3 inches. So I'm gonna go get some screws for that. Alright, so this was the original length of screw that I had. Like I said, it's like 2 inches. This is what I found that I had in my garage. So actually, you know what? Now I'm looking at this is about 1.5 inches, this original screw. And so I'm actually going up to, let me show you, going up to, looks like 2 inches. And then I even have one that is a 2.5 inch screw. This is a wood screw. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And looking at the heads, you can tell they'll be different colors, but like I said, it's not going to be perfect, and I can always go ahead and paint it that glossy black finish anyways to match the shutter. The most important thing is that it's on and it's sturdy. Alright, that's it. This is what the final product looks like. So you can tell it's not the perfect job. I will go back and paint with a glossy exterior black paint just so that it matches. And honestly, I probably will go to the other shutters and get those screwed in with the metal screws, because I've only been here 9 months at this house since I moved in, and you know, the shutter fell off. And so I think it would be a good idea to anchor in those other ones with those wall anchors as well as the metal screws. It's just gonna stay up longer and give that longevity that I'm looking for. But I appreciate all watching, and if you have any questions or any types of videos you guys are interested in having me make, I'm happy to do that. And yeah, spread the word, subscribe, and remember, I am Handyman for the Average Man. Take care.